Welcome back to episode number 34 of the Altered States Unplugged podcast. My name is Kyle Strubing. I am here with my life partner, Jojo Strubing. Jojo, baby, how are we doing today?
We are fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yes. I am excited for this episode.
I am too.
It's a fun one.
It is, yeah, for sure. It should be a good one. It's, we have a couple neat things planned for you guys. So,
we did a little research for this episode, and so we learned some things, and then we were like, let's go share that with everyone else. So today we're going to take you a little deeper into different ways that you can get more out of your sauna sessions. So, so many of us are using the sauna now. I mean, I see it everywhere constantly. Sauna is definitely a service at our locations that has gone through the roof. Like we were just talking to a location the other day about it might be time to get a third sauna because they're fully booked all the time. And so more and more people are getting the benefits of the sauna. And there are some really cool, neat tricks and tips that you can do when using the sauna to make it even more effective and really get even more out of your session. So that's what we're diving into today.
Yeah, I love sauna. People ask all the time, because we have 6 or 7 different modalities per se. And people ask me all the time, if I were to choose just one, I'm saying sauna all the time, 7 days a week. For me, you can't beat the research we're talking generational research. I understand a lot of the stuff that's been circulated is, kind of bro science and stuff like that. Like, I'm cognizant of that. But there's one thing of generations and generations have been using sauna, and just the studies in the decrease of the all-cause mortality for simply sitting in there for about a half hour for 3-4 times a week. Like, to me, that's something that really moves the needle. It doesn't involve salt, and it doesn't involve all these other things, and you're not freezing.
So easy.
You just sit in there and
instantly feel better. I do. When I come out, I'm like, ooh, I needed that. It's almost the same, almost of like working out. Like, I feel like it mimicked that sweat, and I just feel like stress.
And the sleep, the stress, everything. To me, my wellness journey is, kind of the prevention of Alzheimer's, right? Yeah. And consistently in the research, you see that, brain health, everything, the all-cause mortality. So sauna is a big passion of ours that we like. And we're here today really to show you guys how to take it to the next level and some fun, different things, right?
And for those who may not be familiar with that stat that you mentioned, what is that statistic on sauna?
So I'm terrible with remembering numbers. I have so many numbers in my head, but essentially sauna, if you go 2 times per week, you get a reduction in all-cause mortality in the 20 to 24% range. Now, sauna is one of the only things that you do. It has incremental benefits. So if you do it 3 times, it's in the 30s. You do it 4 times, it's in the 40s. 5 times, upwards of 50s. And then if you're doing it 17 times a week, no, I'm kidding. You can reverse your aging. No, absolutely not. But no, it's one of those things that if you consistently do it more and more and more, you see incremental benefits. There are a lot of things, I think, some of these modalities, there can be some diminishing returns for sure. And you can almost do it overkill, like cold plunging, 100%, right? If you're doing it too much, you're hurting hypertrophy, all that, you're throwing away your gains, what I tell people. But sauna is one of those things, the more you do it, the better. The more you do, the better you feel, right?
That is just a statistic that you just can't ignore. It is so powerful, and one that, why wouldn't you do it, right?
Right.
So if you are looking for ways to get more out of your sauna sessions, you want to push more of that detox, see more of those benefits, that's exactly what we're going to dive into today. And if you haven't dove into sauna as a service yet, stick with us. You might, by the end of it, realize maybe I should be trying out the sauna, right? So we're going to dive into a couple of tips, tricks, that maybe things you've never heard of, and talk about why they might be something you want to try during your next sauna session.
So we'll get into it. Obviously, we'll address the elephant in the room. What the heck do we have on our heads? Right? So these are sauna hats. The idea behind this is to protect your head, right? The idea is to keep that to protect your brain, things like that. And what a lot of people do, and it's kind of cone shaped in this way, is so, people's hair can get brittle. I wouldn't know, right? I don't have any hair on my head. But is you keep it up in here, keeps you protected. Your hair doesn't get as brittle, things like that. Yes, it's goofy. It's funny. We have them.
I thought it was just our new uniform.
It was yeah. We should get them branded and sell them in the store, right?
Hey,
or just wear them around.
We might need to after this episode.
Yes.
We're going to go viral for this new fashion.
But they look absolutely ridiculous, right? But yeah, especially, you want to protect your brain, you want to protect your head. And the idea is by keeping your head and hair contained, you can stay in there longer.
Right.
Personally, I haven't really put this to the test. It's something we just picked up, but, great. We'll see.
Yeah.
Right. And there has been a bunch of science, and the idea is, to be able to protect your brain and stuff, and anything to do to protect your brain is just a smart idea.
So I saw a picture the other day of somebody, somebody in the sauna wearing one. So I started going down the rabbit hole with Kyle, talking about these sauna hats. Like, what are these sauna hats? And so obviously when you're in the sauna, your hair gets hot first, and then your brain attracts temperature. And usually that's what causes us to overheat first, and signals, okay, I'm done. I need to get out.
Right.
So the point of wearing these hats is to protect your hair. We us girls care about that, but can also help us last more in the sauna, like you said. So it actually is very common in the Nordic sauna culture. So I know we used to have an employee that was part of the Russian culture, and he would talk about sauna hats all the time as well. So, sauna hats have been around for a long time and a part of many cultures, and I think people are starting to pick up on it. So, I'm all for something if you can last a little longer, especially for those of you who might just be doing that 10, 15 minutes and hitting that breaking point, because when you can push that 20, 25, 30 minutes in the sauna, that's really when you can really start pushing out some toxins. So I think that, hey, if you have a tool to help you last a little bit longer in there, why not try it?
Yeah, and the idea, right, is that your head heats faster than your body. It's just less mass, right? Especially, I believe, in the infrareds, because you're now getting double penetration. You're getting kind of hit from the both sides, kind of penetrating the waves penetrating from all different sides, which is different, right? Different between infrared and regular sauna as well, right? We all know the difference between microwave and an oven, right? You're using the waves to heat you and your core, so it would make sense that it heats your head. Yeah. Overheating your head, it seems kind of contrary, right? Because right now my head is starting to sweat.
A little warmer.
Yeah, it's definitely a little warmer, but having this cool off your head definitely can get rid of some of that dizziness, headache, and that early fatigue, like you said. And these are made of wool. So what it does is it comes closer to the scalp and prevents and slows down that heat transfer. So it allows you to then stay in there longer. And then as you stay in longer, right, if you're able to get an additional 5 to 10 minutes in the sauna, that might be the difference between you engaging heat shock proteins and you not engaging heat shock proteins. Heat shock proteins being the mechanism and the lever that's pulled while you're in the sauna to help with, all these things, the good stuff, right, is kind of the idea. And then it can also increase your cardiovascular load, which is another thing. Really want to get the most out of it. That is, I think the cardiovascular load is probably the biggest mechanism that drives the all-cause mortality, just that additional. Some people don't do any, they don't do any cardio. So simply being in there, giving them that 20 to 30 minutes of simulated cardio can really help and be the difference, right?
Yeah, it's really interesting. So the sauna exposure can increase your heart rate to 120 to 150 beats per minute.
Dang.
And that is what mimics that exercise, that cardio. So you want to be able to push it in that range. Sure. Because why not? I mean, I want to work out without having to work out.
I like doing both.
Right.
I like doing both.
Yes. Sure. But, so fun little tip or trick here. We actually haven't tried it out yet, so we're going to.
I'm trying it out right now. This is
Very soon. We're in a sauna right now.
It's going to feel like it if we keep this on. But no, and the idea, right, is just to really, $20 hat for, more sweat and a better experience. So it's something there. If you're serious about it, give it a whirl.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
Yeah. We'll give you feedback on this one.
We'll give you feedback. Yeah. Number 2, JoJo.
Okay, this is definitely one of my favorites. And this is one I've been using consistently, and I've truly seen fantastic results from it. Like, it just really enhanced my sauna sessions to where I would come out, like, and it wasn't necessarily right away, but like the next day I was way less foggy brained and things like that. So let's talk about it. It is using a binder. So obviously, my favorite binder here is fulvic acid. It's one we offer in store. It's the State of Cellular Energy. Fantastic benefits other than just being a binder. It's an antioxidant, an electrolyte. So you're adding in all of those powerful things. But what it does is it also helps bind to toxins and helps pull them out of your body. So what happens when you sauna is you start pulling out these toxins, right? You start flushing out toxins. Well, a lot of times they can get stuck in your digestive tract, and then they actually just disperse back into the bloodstream. And I'm not a doctor, so I'm not perfect on explaining all of this. But instead of putting them back in the bloodstream, if you are taking a binder along with your sauna sessions, it's going to pull out those toxins and get them fully out of your body like you want to, right? So that is our goal, is to really, really pull out all of those toxins. So there's lots of binders out there: activated charcoal, humic, fulvic. Those are all good ones, but I love fulvic because of it. So it's also an electrolyte. So you're going in the sauna, you're taking an electrolyte. That's good. But fulvic naturally helps draw out heavy metals. So when you add it with the sauna, it's just like such a powerful combo. So I was actually noticing that when I was using the sauna, I was getting a bad headache the next day. And I think it's because toxins weren't making it all the way out of me. I wasn't like lasting long enough. And then when I added in the fulvic, I was actually feeling more refreshed the next day, like better. And I think it was because, they weren't going back in the bloodstream. I could be totally making this up. I'm not a doctor, but I'm just sharing from my experience, right? Yeah. So, adding in the electrolytes, that could have been a big benefit. So, but really interesting concept with this. I've been reading a lot more on it, studying some doctors that recommend it. And I think it's powerful. I mean, anything we can do to just make those sauna sessions more effective, right?
Well, it makes sense, right? So what fulvic is actually doing is it acts as a natural chelator, CHELATOR. And what that is basically means that it's binding to metals. So it's going to allow you to push out more metals. And that's what we're looking for, right? For people that want to detox, that's a big detox. We're getting metals from all over the place, right? In our water. I mean, it's just, it's constant. It's constant. So what it does is it goes in and it binds to those metals to then when you sweat, as it's pushed everything out, it pushes all of it out. So when you're in the sauna, you're just basically turning it up like a blender. What fulvic does is essentially dump it out. That's the idea, right? So it does bind to those environmental toxins and heavy metals, and it also supports cellular mineral transport as well. So not only are we we're taking bad out, but we're putting good back in, is kind of the idea behind that.
Key to replenish.
Right.
So, and I love it. It's like a 2-in-1 electrolyte, and you're getting me the good and getting rid of the bad. Like, I love it.
Plus, we've done a ton on fulvic acid, so I'm all about it anyways.
And by the way, if you are interested to see, and know if you have heavy metals, like maybe you need to be using the sauna to get rid of yourself more, you can do a hair minerals analysis test. You just send in a little piece of your hair, and then it sends you back and tells you like, hey, you got real high lead and arsenic, and it's pretty interesting. We should do that maybe for the next episode. Go get the analysis and come back and look at it. But and I did it once, and I was quite surprised by the results. So then you can get it again after you've been doing sauna sessions for a while with your fulvic, and then see how it's gone down, right?
And I'd also want to see, like, our water, especially in Dallas area, is pretty rough. And before we added the vitamin C showers, I've noticed a big difference. I'd almost like to test it before and after. But Some of the research and data, we always like to back everything up, right? Make it real science, not bro science. But the idea is that sweat can lead to measurable levels of lead, arsenic, and cadmium. A 2012 review in the Archives of Environmental and Contamination Toxicology suggested that sweat may be an effective route for eliminating certain heavy metals, right? It makes sense. It's inside of you. Sweat it out.
Yep.
It's...
The key is just making sure we get it out of our bodies, right? Especially if you're, doing shorter sauna sessions. We got to, you don't want it to partially get out and then go right back into the bloodstream. Then we're... and
there's a lot of people too, not a lot of people. It just seems like when you do 1,000+ sauna sessions in your career, like you see this, but some people don't sweat.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the craziest thing. It's like, how do you not sweat? I'm over here sweating, eating ice cream, and you're not doing anything. But things like this can really, I think, really take that to the next level. And even if you don't, it would still help get the good in and keep that stuff circulating through. So,
yep. All right. Number 3. This one's all you.
This one's all me. All right. So I have another toy here for you guys. And what we're going to do is I'm going to get this on here because I am burning up, but ice pack, right? So ice your balls, gentlemen. So yes, putting ice underneath, under your testicles for men. My brother's going through, right? They're thinking about having a kid coming up here. And I'm like, yeah, man, get in the sauna. And he was like, no, man, it kills your sperm count and all that stuff. And sure. Right.
Props to him. I got to say, there's a lot of men out there that are probably, relying on their wife to get that fertility going. And then they forget they're in charge of that too. So if you're out there in hitting up the sauna and you're trying to build a family, listen up to this. Right.
So the idea, right, is sperm production requires temperatures 2 to 4 degrees Celsius below core body temperature. Now, when we're raising the temperature, that's obviously not a conducive situation for that. The sauna, like every other area in your body, it raises the scrotal temperature. Didn't think I'd be saying that today. Significantly, right? Raises your whole temperature. So just naturally, I know gentlemen kind of sweat more from that specific area too. I don't know about ladies, but yes, that seems to be an area. So we go with ice packs, right? That was a recommendation that was made to us, to kind of just sit on an old ice pack. That way you get the best ice block, ice pack, whatever. I got my trusty ice.
I feel like it would actually help you last longer in there.
It could, yeah, for sure. But the key is keeping that sperm count right in check. If you're looking to have a baby or just you want to keep, you just want to keep your balls cool, which makes sense, right? But yeah, research shows that prolonged heat exposure reduces sperm count and motility. Makes sense, right? We know this. Some studies show regular sauna use can decrease sperm production. So ice your balls, gentlemen. That's the idea.
And it does say here to apply that cold pack and keep it for 5 to 10 minutes after your sauna session to make sure your temp doesn't raise up. So,
right.
Interesting.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Cold exposure, interesting fact, can it increase norepinephrine? I can't ever get that one. Up to 200 to 300%. So there's some potential testosterone and resilience benefits in there just for doing cold exposure in general. So if you're also looking to up that sperm count, check out some cold plunging, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And keep in mind, guys, this is not medical advice.
No.
But it's performance-based recovery consideration for dudes to try to optimize fertility, right? We're not doctors here. We've just seen some things,
Yeah.
Moving on to number 4.
Okay. Number 4 is a niacin flush. I've seen there's like a niacin specific company that kind of touts like, hey, use our product in the sauna. And I had some customers start coming in and bringing this, product in and using it in the sauna. So I started looking into it, and it's a really interesting concept. So again, this is, using the sauna and niacin to help push out and detox even more. So what this does is provides an immediate release of niacin which creates a flushing sensation.
It's actually a vasodilator.
Yep.
Yeah. So your vasodilation, vasoconstriction. When you're in the sauna, you're vasodilated. When you're in the cold, you're vasoconstriction, right? And that's the principle, the base principle of contrast therapy, right? In, out, in, out.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. And then it increases that circulation as well. So it expands the capillaries, increases blood flow, and can help enhance your sweat. So you're just going to push a lot more sweat out. It also helps break up those fat cells. So a lot of times these heavy metals and these toxins that we don't want are stuck in these fat cells, and you have to sweat a really long time to try to push them out. So the niacin can help break them up so then they can be released, right? So interesting. Niacin increases the D2, which drives vasodilation, like you said. And then historically, it's been used in detox protocols to mobilize those stored lipids in those fat cells. Right. So like I said, so interesting one. Now, definitely a lot of safety notes on this one. You definitely want to start with a low dose here. You don't want to go too high. It can cause dizziness, nausea. So try it slowly. Consult doctors if needed on this one before you try it. But start at a low dose. You would take the niacin, go take a sauna session. Maybe don't overdo it in the sauna that day. And then there's some things that you can do afterwards to kind of help continue that flush. You wouldn't want to go eat right away. You want to try to stay drinking water, continue that detox mechanism. Some people will even go walk right afterwards to really walk it off, the flushing. So there's a lot of different, research and talks and Reddits and forums. That was the word I was looking for on this out there. So definitely check out what other people are doing here, but an interesting concept for sure.
Yeah. It seems almost like to have a thermogenic effect, right? Like fat burners. Yeah. I'm 44 and we had the Ultimate Orange and the Fen and all that. And that was, once you started sweating, it would start to pour. So yeah, this is something interesting. I'm interested to try it. I don't use a lot of that. I sweat so much anyways, I don't know why that is, cause we sauna all the time. But I've always been a sweater, so it's interesting to see. We'll definitely have to give that one a shot. But yeah, with all these things, with anything that we talk about in the store or on the podcast, slow and low, guys. Mm-hmm. I'm going to big brother you and just tell you slow and low. If I tell you to take half of that, right? Yeah. That's the idea. But number 5, the next one here is simple. Add electrolytes, right?
Oh my gosh. If you aren't taking electrolytes after your sauna session, you are missing for sure.
Right.
You've got to replenish, right?
One thing I always say when everybody says electrolytes, and I think Gatorade, right? They've done such a good job branding it. But for me, no, sorry, Gatorade, but the sugars and dyes and all that stuff, no.
Try the State of Hydration.
Right. Fortunately, we do have an electrolyte powder that's fantastic. It's all natural, flavored with actual fruit, and gives you the same thing. But you don't want to be real careful putting calories then back in. Yeah.
Or high sugar. What's the point? You just
sugar, calories. Yeah. You worked so hard to get all that out and then to put that crap back in, just don't go there. But electrolytes matter big time. So sauna sessions, you can produce up to half to 1.5 liters of sweat per session. I'm probably closer to that 1.5 for sure. And then your sweat contains that sodium, potassium, and magnesium, the three key pillars of electrolytes, right? And I noticed this when my electrolytes are low. This was a big thing when we did keto, right? And you got that keto flu. Mm-hmm. But these are the same symptoms that we have, right? Fatigue, headache, poor recovery, hormonal stress, stuff like that, right? With keto, you're not getting those electrolytes, right? And that's people get that keto flu, and it's the exact same thing. It's because you're low on electrolytes. So with this combination of the stress on your body, of the sauna, and then not getting those electrolytes, that's why you're bonking. That's why you're crashing.
Yeah.
So make sure to get those back in. I'm going to hammer this. Electrolytes, no sugar, even if it's adding a little salt to your water, guys, or some fruit, get some, there's a ton of electrolytes and fruits and watermelon afterwards. Make yourself a little plate afterwards. Have a little session,
Yeah.
So get those electrolytes back in for sure.
Yeah. And I've had people ask me this, should I drink them while I'm in the sauna? And actually read that it's better post sauna, not during, because during you're just pushing things out. So there's not a lot of benefits just
that makes
yet.
Sense.
So I don't know if that's true, but
it is
spreading false news.
Yeah. And as a wellness center owner, do not drink anything other than water inside of the sauna. No, I'm kidding.
This is interesting. The sodium loss per liter of sweat ranges from 500 to 1800 milligrams. That's a lot.
Which is a
so
lot.
Yeah, there's a reason why we got to replenish that. So, yeah, definitely get a good electrolyte, a good binder.
Good binder.
You could get both with fulvic. Yeah.
The next level thing we have here is stack this bad boy with a cold plunge. You want you can get your vasodilation and then you get your vasoconstriction in the cold plunge. You're pumping the blood in, pumping the blood out, making it a lot more effective. You get the nerve regeneration, which I'm a huge fan of, right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
So what
you.
are the benefits of adding that cold plunge?
Yeah, so now you're doing an additional. I think for me it's almost twofold, right? Like contrast therapy, and then each one of these services individually are two totally different things. Contrast therapy, it's more for it's a lot more for circulation, nerve regeneration. But with the cold plunge and the sauna, I'll use it. I don't cold plunge. I don't do a ton of contrast therapy unless I feel I got that Raynaud's crap. So I'll do that. And it definitely helps. But for me, I like to add the cold plunge to it because yes, the mental fortitude and all that, but to also shut me off. I like to sauna at night. Mm-hmm. And it takes me forever to stop sweating and lower my core temperature. So while I'm sipping on some electrolytes, I'll get in that cold plunge. Now I don't do it at, we're so lucky because we have all these machines and stuff like that. But I'm not cold plunging at night at 36 degrees.
Yeah.
I want it to be closer to 50 because I just want to lower my core temperature. And already you're so vasodilated at that point from being in the sauna that it doesn't, you don't need much really. So I'm trying to really bring that back down. But,
it's just refreshing, man. After the sauna and I get in there, I just feel, you're right. If I just did the sauna, scientific big benefits, I'm sure there. But if I just get out of the sauna and go to bed, I am hot all night.
All the time,
and it's almost miserable. But when I get in the cold plunge and then I go to bed, I just cozy up. I feel good. I'm actually a little cold, which is what I like. But yeah, you can't stay in that cold plunge too long or then you'll be shivering all night.
Yeah.
Which maybe you want to do. Maybe you want that little metabolic boost. But yeah, and then it gives me that nice little dopamine rush right before bed, and then I sleep like a baby. So.
Yeah, and it helps bring that inflammation back down too a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It makes sense.
Many of you are all in on this sauna and you're really resistant to the cold plunge. And I just encourage you, give it a try. It doesn't have to be every time you do the sauna, but there are some powerful benefits to putting it together. So.
Yeah, and then you get to see the contrast therapy and see. There's research that said contrast therapy can be more effective in muscle recovery and stuff like that, as opposed to just sauna alone. Sure, I guess, but yeah, it'd be something to try, especially if you've done it 7. If you're a consistent sauna person, try it out. It might help bring you back down and just allow you to really, help out. It just keep you going, going strong. And then the cold plunge too, right? Which I like about it. Sometimes, in a perfect world, I'm waking up, cold plunge, then I go about my day, and then at night I'm going to bed, or I'm sauna, go to bed, all that, right? So to me, and then if you can only sauna cold plunge at one time, let's say at 10 o'clock in the morning, after I sauna, I don't want to do a damn thing, right? So cold plunge is nice to kind of bring me back up and get me more alert because I'm tired after sauna. I don't know, maybe it's just like my circadian rhythm or something, or my body's like, dude, you did sauna. It's time to now go to bed in an hour, right? So I feel like and that's what I recommend a lot of times for people who are doing the cold plunge sauna in the store. They're always like, well, what should I do? And I'm like, dude, what do you got going on for the rest of the day, man? It's noon. You know, are you going to go home and take a nap, then end it on the sauna? But if you got stuff to do, like I'd hit that cold plunge afterwards. Just going to bring you back up, make you more alert, get those endorphins going. That way you can tackle the rest of the day.
Love it. Awesome. And then this last one is one that you can really easily do while you're in the sauna, and that's nasal breathing. So most people just sit in the sauna and scroll on their phones, which I highly recommend that you don't take your phone in the sauna with you. First of all, you're trying to detox, so we don't need all of that EMFs and plastic and toxins. Just my thoughts. But also, do a digital detox while you're in there. Yeah. We do have tablets on the wall if you want to listen to music or watch Netflix. So I get it. Some days I'm all in. But other days, like, I just want to put on a little sound bath and let my mind go. Yeah. So while you're doing that, do some nasal breathing, like a slow inhale through your nose for 4, slow exhale for 4, and then hold some breaths in between. This can increase your CO2 tolerance and improve your oxygen efficiency. So it activates that parasympathetic nervous system that we're all about. So this nasal breathing can increase the nitric oxide production, which supports the vasodilation and oxygen delivery.
Very common word today.
So breath controls improves that heart rate variability. So it all ties in together, right?
If you want to go nutso, get yourself some mouth tape. You could do that. You know, I did the mouth tape in the cold plunge. That was pretty insane.
We need to add that to the waiver before we start recommending that one.
But no, that'll force it, right? You know, they use it for snoring and they use it for all types of different things. You just put some mouth tape over and, you know, it forces you to nasal breathe, you know.
We should try that on this podcast.
We should nasal. Yeah.
So do some deep breathing through the nose. Increase that oxygen delivery, and it's just going to overall help your body perform better in the sauna.
Yeah, heat plus breath control equals metabolic and nervous system training simultaneously. It's the idea. 2 for 1, guys. Maximizing, which is what the whole point of this episode is, right? Getting the maximal benefits out of this. If you've done a fair amount of sauna and you're not sweating as much, you're heat adapted, things like that, try one of these tricks. You know, maybe get some niacin and see if that can really help push it out. Or if you're, you know, super interested in detox, or you're super interested in brain health and things like that, maybe a sauna hat's going to keep you in 5 to 10 minutes longer. It's all about these little tweaks, pivots, things like that, right? That's the idea. And keep in mind, right, like recovery is not just about relaxing. You know, you can wake up after a 12-hour. We see this a lot now because we have the nervous system scans. But you know, it's like, oh, after we just had our busiest weekend here, and like I'm still so tired, but physically I'm not. Physically I'm good. You know, we were just on our feet all the time, but I can just feel I'm just tired. I'm just whelmed. I'm not overwhelmed, but I am sufficiently whelmed. And that's the idea. It's about that, you know, keeping that intentional stress and pointing it in the right direction and using what you have available versus your total output, not going over the top. And these little tricks and these little tools are just a way to do it. And you know, if you want to roll in the store with your ice pack, your hat, and your bottle of niacin and stuff with your electrolyte powder, by all means, go for it. But like everything else that I recommend, try one thing. Try it for 6 weeks. See if it works. If it does, awesome. And you want to add something, add something. If it didn't work, it didn't work, and you move on, right? That's the idea. So give one of these a shot. Come in and see us at one of our stores. Yeah. What else? Do you got anything else, babe?
Yeah. The sauna, fantastic. One of our, you know, favorite services to just be doing consistently every week. Try these things out. Let us know what you think. And if you see us walking around in these, you know, don't judge.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Like, share, follow, all that good stuff. Thanks, and we'll see you again later.